Hello everybody and welcome. So in this tutorial I will show how to debug easy publish bundles using NetBeans. So first make sure you have xdebug installed in your system. In my case I'm using Ubuntu here, so it's easy to install. It's just one command. Okay. Next you need to check the xdebug path. So usually you can just go here and lib, right? It's installed in lib, PHP 5. In my case, the path is this one, xdebug.so. So I can just copy this because you will need to use this later. Okay. So next we need to add this setting to the php.ini file, and here is a catch because you need to add this to the Apache 2 /php.ini file and also to the CLI, so you can also debug command line scripts. So let's start by adding this to the let me check here, PHP 5 Apache 2. Let me first check one thing here. Oh, I need to specify that I'm going to open the file with gedit. So Apache. So I'm going to open etc php 5 Apache 2 php.ini file. So in this file here I have already put the xdebug settings, so you just search for module settings and then you can insert this xdebug block here and make sure you add the correct path to this Zend extension variable here. In my case it's this one, so I do not need to change. And here is one important step, because usually in Easy Publish we can also create command line scripts. So you need also to add this block to etc php CLI and php in. It's very important to pay attention to this step because later you need to debug command line scripts, and if you don't do this you will not be able to debug. So it's really the same thing here. You just put the xdebug. I put just above the MS SQL block here, and it's basically the same stuff here. So after you do this, you need to check your NetBeans. You can go in Tools, Options, and you go to PHP and Debugging. Here are my debug settings. So you just put this and this, stop at first line. If you want to watch variables, you can check this checkbox here. If you don't do this, I will show you what happens. So let's say that we want to debug one controller. So I put a set breakpoint here, and then I click debug. So NetBeans will open my file, my site. Just make sure that you are running your project using local website, running on local web server, and this is my URL, and I don't put index file. I just left blank arguments as well, and that is it. And then after I press debug, it will open my Firefox and say that it started the debug session. And then I can just press this button here. Check what happens. Now it is in my script here. Then I can start debugging. So I have access to the variables here, and you can check NetBeans what you can do now. But basically, if I want to watch this variable here, then I need to enable that option. So I can go here, NetBeans, and check this option, and then I can stop my debugging session. And now I can try to debug again, and I go here, and yeah, now you can see that I can check the variable values, and you watch. Now it has content here. I can just click here and check this value. Also, I can see all the variables and start debugging here. Okay. And yeah, this is basically how we debug xdebug websites. And so you can debug controllers and class, and we can debug everything here basically. But in xdebug and Symfony, we can also create command line. So I have this class here called create command. It's basically I can check xdebug here, PHP console, no, PHP xdebug console. So you have all the options all the commands that you can run in command line. In my case, it's this command here. If I call this command here, I run this file, and then in this tutorial we want to debug this file here as well using the command line. So first you need to run the debug in NetBeans, and then in your command line, in your terminal, you need to export this variable here, and then you run your PHP script. I'll put this link in the video description so you can check it later. So let's do this. First I run netbeans-debug. I'll just run this and this, and try to stop this page here. It's still running, so yeah, now this page is completely loaded, and now we can start debugging our PHP command line script. So I can go here. I'll first export this variable. Just pay attention to this value here. It needs to be the same as this one you have here when you start a debug session. So now I just put a breakpoint here, and when I run this command here, console today create, it will communicate with NetBeans, and I can just press this, and now I can debug my command line script. So now it's just the same thing. We can create watch variables, and we can check the values here, and yeah, we can do basically all the NetBeans debug stuff here. So basically that is it. I hope you enjoy. I'll put all the links in my video description, and see you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.